puts up a tough shot. Bounces around. Goes in at the buzzer. Working it down to 2-1. A deep three. Oh!
It's population.
That's how you win a game.
It's population. We hustle every day to find picks. You can tell us if you want to get rich. It's population. We robbing Underdog and PrizePicks. We the best in this biz. You ain't telling us shit. It's population. We love making money quick, fast. Cooking up a team card. The whole crew about to smash. It's population. We do it for the fam, so everybody let's cash. The dopest team you ever seen. Winning money, stacking G's. Bookies setting traps, but they'll never catch me. Some people get addicted like rats to the cheese, but I got one obligation to bring Johnny to his knees. Holding back the props till the morning he knows. They'll be fishing in the shack, plotting nukes with the pros. Only with craw, never reload. Underrated them out, amigos. We go with honest, we singing the bloods. We know when the fucking cheat code. Party that I'm sweating, it can't be good for my health. Some might call it making bets, I call it investing in myself. I'm picking props like stocks, population for the win. Got my sips in by the buzzer now, let the games begin.
Unbelievable. Just happened. He did it.
It's population. It's population. It's population. We do it for the fam, so everybody let's cash.
We're back.
What is up? Underrated YouTube. How we doing?
Doing pretty good, man. I tested positive for COVID last night, but hey, I'm not feeling too bad. It's pretty interesting.
I'm glad that new strain.
You know what though? You know what I will notice? I don't have a fever, which is great, but I slept so long and it felt like I could sleep the rest of the day if I didn't set an alarm. I'll tell you that.
Well, I'm glad you're awake now for us. Appreciate it, man.
Gotta find these props, Big Josh. Gotta find these props.
Yeah. Let's do it, man. Let's talk about last night, bro. The game lived up to its potential. Remember, that was my number one thing. Is it gonna do it? And man, it went above and beyond. What a game! Game of the year so far in the NBA season, in my opinion. Might be a little biased, I'm a Warriors fan, but just the way all the narrative behind it and the way it ended.
You are biased, but hey, bro, it definitely was lived up to it.
Yeah. I mean, when we got Steph on Clay, look how weird that is. It's so weird looking at that. Opening possession, they went right to Clay, and Steph fouls him. And yeah, Steph put him to sleep with that dagger three, man.
I seen this dude posted a little parlay he did Steph to hit 5 threes and Clay to hit 5 threes, and it was plus 950 or something, and he won. It was pretty dope.
Oh, that's awesome. Hey, we talked about the 3-point combo. They had it on there at 7.5 for both of them.
Mm-hmm.
And they got that. They cleared everything, man. They cleared everything. And so all our targets, man, we swept our main picks, and it was a great night. Clay was a play today when we got it. We got it the night before at 13.5 points on Fliff, minus 130. Posted that in our top plays in our Discord. And then on stream, we found the Steph at 39.5 fantasy. I don't know what they were thinking on a game on this scale and magnitude. He was gonna play big minutes, and yeah, that's way too low for his fantasy point per minute production. And Melton, he cleared his first half fantasy in his full game. And then some of our team members came up with some good plays. Underrated came up with Embiid under 38.5 PRA. That was really solid because we saw how many minutes we had him projected. 29 minutes. I don't know what he finished with. He went way under. Giannis went under his points. And our usual Kyrie under first half PRA went under. And Bobby Portis did his thing, cleared his points and rebound pretty easily. And Dyson Daniels, man, we looked into this yesterday. The steal leader continues. Back-to-back games with 6 steals or more. Crazy. So now that puts him at 36 steals on the season. And we looked, the next closest person was at like 21. So he's a pickpocketer. And then we talked about Goga, man. I predicted that his minutes would really ramp down in this matchup, so it kind of went. We cut in half of the first half, hoping that he plays normal first half rotation. But his minutes just went down due to the matchup. You got to be careful with any traditional big going against the Hornets, because the Hornets are gonna, as their current state without Mark Williams and Nick Richards, they're gonna try to run teams off the court. So gotta got to take that in mind. But what a night, guys. Let's dive into this. We got 11 games, so we got to get right to it. But let's see, chat. What's up, Ariel? How you doing, man? He said, let's do it, fellas. All right. We got one game, Island game, starting at the normal start time, 7:10 Eastern. Pacers at Magic, 222.5 total. I was kind of surprised when I saw this. Magic are opening as favorites here. They've only been favorites against really weak teams. I mean, not that the Pacers are a powerhouse, but the Pacers, I mean, they're healthy, right? I mean, besides Nembhard being out and Obi Toppin being in and out of the lineup, questionable. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, the Magic have been playing well. I mean, Franz is playing really well, and Suggs as well. But yeah, 1.5 point favorites. Interesting. Maybe they're giving them the home court advantage here. Halliburton had a really fake game against the Knicks, and then I kind of felt it coming because when a player does that bad and has a career worst game of 0 points versus a team, you got to think they're going to come out hungry next time they play each other, and he did. He dropped, 35 points, 5 plus threes or something crazy. Another good matchup for him here, but I can't trust Halliburton. This is it's an average pace. I got it projected for about 99 possessions. Any fast-paced matchup, you're going to have over 105 possessions total. So it's on the mid to low side here, total pace. Yeah, I mean, we continue to see point guards eat against the Magic, and I think it's just due to KCP's age. They don't have Gary Harris out there anymore on the perimeter. Yeah, they're struggling to stop point guards here. Let's just look at the shot chart real quick. Let's see, are they struggling against pick and roll, or let's see, let me sign in to this. And are they struggling in transition? What kind of point guards? What are they? So the other bottom 8 in pick and roll defense, they're not really fouling. They're actually being pretty decent on spot up shooting, and their transition defense is average. So I don't know. I mean, yeah, they're holding it down against the 3-ball versus point guards, top 3. So maybe Halliburton comes back down a little bit here. We always like to attack his first half unders if you're on PrizePicks. So what is he at his usual 9.5, or did they bump him? Let's see. After that performance, he's at his usual 9.5. You can always consider it, but I'm kind of worried on this matchup, just how much point guards, how well they've been doing versus the Magic. But it is Halliburton. One key note here, I know Goga was a letdown yesterday, but this is a revenge game, right? The Pacers gave up on him, let him go. They never really gave him the minutes when he was there either. So he could come out motivated here. I think he played them. Was it this year, or am I thinking of last year? Let's take a look. He played him this year. Yeah, he played big minutes, 30 minutes here, 10 points. What do you do PRA wise? 12 rebounds. It's pretty solid. And 4 stocks. So he was motivated. He was hungry. But that was in Indiana. So a little bit more drive behind that narrative being in Indiana. So, but I mean, it's good to see that his minutes in the same matchup were at 30 minutes if you want to consider his fantasy. But overall, Pacers haven't really been the team to attack inside the paint. Although, I mean, yeah, they're about 20, they're bottom 4 and near the basket defense, points allowed to bigs. So, yeah, I would say it's a mid-tier play. I to be honest, I'm probably just not gonna have much exposure to this game. It just seems very mid and average overall. It's like it's right on the line. It's like for unders and overs. I mean, it's almost like a coin flip. I feel like for a lot of these props in this matchup, because everything is so average on paper. So I will say Suggs' points are up there now, right? I mean, he's been at 15.5 even with Banchero out, and now he's all the way up to 17.5. I mean, he's juiced on the under, so it's probably getting bumped down in some books, but he's a yo-yo, man. He's like up and down for sure. I mean, see his scoring chart here. 17 against the Hornets, but they only dropped 5 points because he only played 18 minutes. I think he had foul trouble. 7 points in 33 minutes against the Pelicans, who are a favorable matchup. Yeah, you're either going to get less than 10 single-digit scoring, or you're going to get 15 plus from him. So I don't want to bet on a yo-yo. But if you want on fantasy, is the way to go. Let's just see what his fantasy line is at. It's been hovering around 36 to 37, but let's see. It's at 32.5, so it's come way down. Let's see what I have it projected for. Plays 34 minutes. Projected for, I think, let me adjust his projected for 40 fantasy if he plays 34 minutes. You just gotta stay out of foul trouble. Yeah, he just hasn't gotten to 34 minutes recently. A lot of it's due to blowouts or foul trouble. But yeah. Matchup wise, it's average. So let's see, how did he do in the meeting? Head to head. So they played twice already this year. Okay, that's right. Did pretty well with meetings. One of those, I think Banchero was in, right? Yeah, Banchero's in the first one, where Suggs actually did really well, 37 PRA. Let's just quickly check Franz. I mean, he had a monster game against Charlotte, to no surprise. But he struggled in that first meeting. Oh, yeah. This is when he was sick, though. He had to check out early because that's when he came down with this illness. But then he came back, played 39 minutes the second time around without Banchero, 28 points. Got a lot of free throws, no surprise. Pacers still fouling. 23 shots he put up. So I'm sure his lines are high now, though. I mean, he's still at 25.5 points. That's what he's been at. So, yeah. His playmaking, he's sitting around 10 plus potentials, so that's going to put him around 5 assists. I wouldn't take the over just solely on the assists there, but his rebounding is all over the place. Yeah, if anything, I mean, I would just say you either go with the points, especially the first quarter. He's been crushing that. He's been playing the entire first quarter now with Banchero out. So, with first quarter props are volatile, man. I will say that, like, if you're not on PrizePicks or Underdog and you don't have access to first half, you can try doing first quarter in the books, but it's not the same, right? Because, like, you want some of that action in the second quarter, especially for some players where their minutes are staggered with another star on the team. Like, that second quarter is when you get those minutes, a little bit of minutes, a few minutes with the one of those players off the court. So just take that in consideration. 8.5 is, it's pretty high, but that's standard for a guy who's going to play the entire quarter. It's usually 8.5 points when per guy playing 12 minutes. Like Tatum, AD, guys like that, they're always going to be 8.5 points. But for Franz, for him, he's gonna have to hit 1-3. I feel like, he got it here, but he went to the free throw line. So Wizards, he hit a 3 and he got there. Didn't get any free throws. So yeah, but he's taking about anywhere from 7 to 10 shots in the first quarter. But yeah, for him, it's just like mainly points, or you can consider the fantasy since he's doing it all for the team. That's it, man. I don't really mess with the Pacers besides Hallie's unders usually. Okay. I'll jot down that, but if you guys have anything else, let me know. Franz. Obviously, points. It's a tight spread. If Vegas is accurate on the projection here, should get full minutes out of these guys. And Franz's usage, it's crazy right now. So let's just quickly check that. He, in that last game, Yeah, he had almost a 40% usage rate. That's really high. So against the Wizards, he sat out a lot, but he still had a 33% usage because of the blowout. So he's going to be averaging, anywhere from 35 to 40% here. Yeah, so if you get a full 36 minutes out of him, it should be pretty solid for fantasy. He does turn it over though. It doesn't get much stock, so you're gonna need it from like peripheral assists and rebounding. But then we come at 35, but puts him at 40 fantasy projection on a good day. Then his line, I'm sure, is pretty high now. Let's see, and then we'll move on from this game. Oh yeah, 42.5. That's too high, guys. That's much higher than what I have him projected for, so I'm good on that. I would say Suggs is pretty soft line. Yeah. All right. You guys got anything for that? Just a suggestion. Let Josh have his top 4 or 5 picks ready. Discuss them and take questions. Sorry, too long and drawn out for me. Good luck, guys. All right, Bennett. I can do that in I can try to do that in the beginning. A lot of times, what we used to do is like the night before the stream, and then I would have my research done by then, but it's been hard. So
the fact that you
right
do
now,
your research during the show is kind of cool for some people, but I feel them too. There's other people who just want picks. So maybe my suggestion would be do what you do and then just make sure you keep the picks ready, and at the very end you have them.
Yeah.
Or if you don't have them yet, hey, that's why the Discord's there. You post in the Discord.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times, waiting on news and stuff like that, especially for today when you have multiple teams on a back-to-back. Speaking of that, Celtics at Nets, we got Celtics on a back-to-back, and Horford's already out. Yeah, I mean, we'll try to think of something. I'll definitely try to do the picks at the end for sure, but a lot of times this is the first time really going through in depth on the slate. So, and since I'm already doing it, might as well just stream it. But yeah.
I would say just to keep the way you're doing it already, if it's comfortable for you.
Appreciate it, Bennett.
Yeah, just make sure at the end you just tell people what you really got more than we've been, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, cool.
Man, yeah, this one, Celtics coming off a horrible loss, being 15.5 point favorites. I think it was the highest spread in the season. So yeah, I think they're probably going to come out a little bit angry, hungry. I will say that Tatum didn't look his normal self. I don't know if it was due to injury, because he was dealing with that questionable injury tag. But he struggled early on for sure. I'm actually surprised he's playing because he had that questionable tag. But maybe something pops up later on him. But given that, I can't trust him. I mean, Derek White just continues to shoot a ton of threes, so it's a tough matchup, though. I mean, the Nets have been pretty solid defensively. If we let's look at Derek White. Yeah, I mean, they've been hovering around top 10 in spot up shooting, and that's Derek White's primary thing. It's just spot up 3-point shooting. It's like 47% of his shots are coming from, so it's not an ideal matchup for him for sure. But his line's low. I mean, at 15.5 points for his shot volume. I get why there's juice on the over there. But yeah, I can't touch anything Celtics wise on a back.
Hey Josh,
back
I gotta leave the room for a minute. I'll be back in 5. I'll still be watching if something happens, but you should be good. I'll be right back.
Yep. Bennett said picks, suggestions, and questions would be good. Yeah, if you guys, I mean, anytime you have a question, shoot it out, man. I'll stop anytime. Yeah. I see Derek White struggled in this matchup. 1 of 6 from 3. Yeah, I mean, I probably just skip this game altogether since we have 11 games on the slate for sure. I got this. I mean, the pace is going to be super slow. The Celtics are now falling to the bottom 10 in pace. Nets for second to last in pace. I got it projected for 97 possessions, so that's gonna be really low shot volume for a lot of these guys on a normal day, compared to a normal day. So I'm probably gonna skip this game. But if you guys got anything on it, let me know. Bulls at Knicks. So we got the polar opposite here, right? We got the fastest pace team in the Bulls. They're running currently the first in pace, and then we have the Knicks who are in dead last in pace. So I think I need to add. Brunson is either questionable or I don't know if he's now actually been ruled out. He hurt his ankle and left the game, but then came back yesterday. And being on a back-to-back, I don't know. We'll see. But OG keeps playing well. Bridges is doing his thing solid, getting like 15 to 18 points a game. So especially Brunson, if he's out, then that's obviously boosted him. But if he plays and he's not 100%, then definitely a boost to the shot volume for OG and Bridges. And then obviously Cat should have a monster game here in this matchup. We've been attacking the Bulls of bigs all season long, although Cat's not your traditional big because he does like to shoot from the perimeter a lot. But let's look at the matchup. I don't have any data on Cat on here. But yeah, see, the Bulls are dead last in points near the basket, so they're giving up the most points near the basket. Chet dropped 21 on him, very similar style to Cat. Wendell Carter even had a game. Yeah. I would say with Cat, he's going to do it all, especially if Brunson is not 100% or ruled out. So I'd probably just lean fantasy here. If Cat plays about 32 minutes, puts him at 43. What do they have him at? $46.5. Hey, you're paying a little bit of tax on that. Is Brunson? Let me just see. Is he ruled out or not? He's questionable still, so that it might be baked into the lines already. Like these numbers, planning on him being out. So PrizePicks has him at Cat at 26.5, but what FanDuel has him at 24.5? This is FanDuel not updated. There's just big discrepancy. Like FanDuel is just a lot lower than the other books. Huh. Maybe they have some information others don't on Brunson. Yeah, I mean that's pretty high, man. At 26.5. It's clear that in 4 or 10 games. But again, Brunson played in every single one of these games this season, so yeah, he's gonna have a massive boost here. OG, his matchup pretty average, but I mean, yeah, the Bulls, you can attack them at every position pretty much. Bridges is finally getting bumped up. I mean, his points have been sitting at 15.5, and now we're at 16.5. So, and he lives right at that line, right? He's always finishing around 15. Is Josh Hart coming off a triple-double, right? He had a triple-double last night. Yeah, 12 rebounds, 10 assists, 14 points. And he played big 37 minutes, as usual. And Tibbs offense. So, I mean, yeah. Obviously, if Brunson's out, it's a boost to all these guys. But I would say, like, Hart gets a boost in RA. Cat, for sure, too. But how high is OG's line now? Because he's been at like 28 fantasy. they're not even offering his fantasy line anymore. They said no more because he's just been clearing it every time. Okay. Yeah, so that sucks. I hate relying on OG for just scoring, for sure. But he's been getting it done. And good matchup. Yeah, this is a wait and see, man. We just don't. It's hard to say without knowing Brunson's going to play. On the other side, the Bulls, massive pace down for them, right? So it's a massive pace up for the Knicks, which boosts all them. But then the Bulls, yeah, pace down for them. Usually the team that runs the faster pace dictates the pace. So I think overall should boost the possessions more so. So we should get around 101 possessions here. Levine's probable, so the Bulls are a full go. But I don't like the matchup really for any of them. Kobe White's coming off a good game. Yeah. Yeah, I'm good on Bulls, man. I am good on Bulls. Okay. Cavs at Sixers. This one, I think there's like 4 games starting 30 minutes after the first game. So this is one of those 4. We got a 10.5 point spread, man. And the reason for that is the Sixers are on a back-to-back, and they're resting Embiid and Paul George. And, of course, there's still no Maxey with the hamstring. So, man, this is going to be a rough squad. If you're playing DFS, I would definitely consider Ricky Council here. I mean, he's not going to start, but, like, he's got to pick up minutes, and he's really efficient when he does get minutes, and he will score. So maybe if we get props for him in some books, I would look out for it, but I doubt it. But yeah, he's a bucket getter. And then Drummond. I noticed, like, when he starts and Embiid has been out, like when they play teams with bigs, they try to match his minutes because his backup usually is Yabu or Yabusale or KJ Martin, and they're undersized. They're like undersized power forward, so he has to play all the minutes he can to match the bigs, like when they played Zubac and AD and such. So, and the Cavs, they're huge, right, in the front court. Now, but the only thing is Jared Allen's questionable, so we'll need to wait on that. If Jared Allen's out, then Mobley will move to the 5 and play center, which is fine because he's a 7-footer. But yeah, I think Drummond still have to match his minutes. So yeah, I put Drummond at like 30, 31 minutes here. Not the best matchup, especially if you have both Mobley and Allen down low. But yeah, he's gonna have to play decent minutes here, which could make any under scary just due to him just being out there and the amount of minutes he's gonna play. So let's wait on the Jared Allen. I would say if Jared Allen's in, yeah, I'm probably not going to do anything Drummond related. Jared Allen's out, then I'm definitely going to go to Mobley here in this matchup. I mean, it should be a phenomenal spot for him, soaking up all the center minutes at the 5, and then going against Drummond. He should have a lot of stock opportunity. So definitely go to the Mobley's fantasy if Allen's out. Hopefully we get it on either Underdog or PrizePicks. But we'll see.
Sensei J says, just jumping in, what are your thoughts on LeBron and Schroeder point discounts on PrizePicks? Just throwing that out there for you if you have any thoughts.
I love LeBron, right? Like against Memphis. I mean, we just saw him drop 39. Yeah, AD didn't play, but I mean, he had his way with them easily. So yeah, Schroeder, man,
fuck that guy.
What is it discounted to from? He's normally what, 16.5 points. What did they put it at?
Let me see. Oh, you got it.
Oh yeah, 16.5 to 12.5. I mean, he could get the pure volume, but he's a little more scary. LeBron's pretty straightforward. What is he? LeBron's at 18.5, unless like the Lakers just like blow him out and he just doesn't get there because of minutes. But let's put him at 12.5. So he doesn't. I can't believe he didn't clear that against the Bulls in a favorable matchup. All right, my bad. I mean, he dropped 20 on him recently. I don't know, man. Yeah, I think it's all right. I just never trust Schroeder. But, I mean, Ben Simmons is questionable, so, yeah. Minutes should be full go. You just got to hope the Celtics don't come out, like, crazy motivated and blow them out the water early. Where were we? Oh, Mobley. Let's just quickly look at last year with Allen out and what Mobley did. This is okay. Played the Celtics 4 times without Allen. Oh, is the playoffs there? Okay. Rebounds are really high, right? No surprise. Playmaking. I mean, RA is solid. So if you don't have access to his fantasy, I would say RA. What's his RA line at? 12.5. That's what I would go with in the books if Allen's out. Or you consider PRA too, but should be able to score on him pretty easily. Oh, here, so. But yeah, Allen hasn't looked right for a while now, right? And it sounds like it's that calf issue that has been questionable. So that makes sense. I would just sit him because I mean he's been playing low 20 minutes too. So yeah, definitely look out for that. And then on Allen news, and then yeah, I don't want to guess between Donovan Mitchell and Garland. They've just been switching off every game, right? It's like on who's dominating shot volume. But yeah, definitely want access to the front court here against Drummond, because they're gonna be undersized. I mean, like I said, the backups for Drummond are KJ Martin and Yabusele, who are not traditional bigs, so should be pretty easy for Mobley or Allen if he plays. And then yeah, I'm not touching any secondary pieces like Caleb Martin, Kelly Oubre, or Old Man Lowry. So pretty straightforward on that game. Just gotta wait on the Allen news, and I'll have to see what Drummond's lines are, because I would want unders on a normal time with Embiid out, but this matchup he should, like I said, play more minutes than normal. He's at 11.5 points, and what's his PRA? We don't even have his PRA. We just have his PR, 22.5. That's his normal. It's a little nerfed. I think he's been sitting at 25.5 PRA. So, okay. And put Ricky Council DFS, and then look out for points. Never know. Maybe they throw him in the starting lineup. I mean, I would. I mean, they like Jared McCain though, so I doubt it. Pelicans at Thunder. Man, this is a laundry list of guys out for the Pelicans. Yeah, Alvarado got injured, so throw him into the injury bus for the Pelicans. He's gonna be out for extended time. Brandon Boston, I mean, he's been playing well though. Yeah, he's playing big minutes, 35 minutes too. So I think he'll continue to dominate playmaking and the usage in the backcourt. Trey, second game back now. First game he came out and he was checking, right? Maybe he plays a little bit more minutes here. Let's see what his lines are at. Tough matchup though, for sure. 26 minutes, 14 shots in 26 minutes. It's not bad. So maybe he plays like 28, 30. We'll see. It's only second game back. But don't like the matchup at all. And his lines are pretty high for a guy that's on a minutes limit too. 14.5 points. Unless there's reports coming out saying he won't be on the minutes limit. It just seems kind of high. He's gonna have to knock down his threes for sure. We don't have any Boston pro. Oh, we do have Boston. 15.5. Whew. That's high. And his assists. Yeah. I mean, like, look at the guys he's passing to. But when he gets the minutes, I mean, he definitely he can rebound. He can do it all, right? But yeah, I don't want to trust him in this matchup. The Pelicans, or I mean, on the Thunder side, man, SGA looked like the old SGA yesterday with Chet, or last game with Chet not in the lineup anymore. He took over the team, ran more isolation. I mean, had a crazy game against the Clippers, 45 points. But this game, man, it has a good chance of him not touching the court in the fourth. So in blowouts this year, they're playing SGA and Jalen are playing about 29 minutes. So I put them all at 29 minutes. Let me fix it. Yeah, 29. They don't. SGA checks out usually at the end of the third and won't check back in the fourth if it's a blowout. So yeah, he'll have about 29 minutes. Same with Jalen, and then Dort, he loses out on big minutes and blowouts as well. Sometimes he'll play anywhere from 18 to 22. But this is all banking on a blowout, right? I mean, you never know what the Pelicans, they could show up. They got these guys, bench guys playing who are trying to earn a contract. So, but it's a tough matchup, especially in OKC. And then let's see, OKC has this rotational spot at the 2-hole. Like they rotate in Casey Wallace and Isaiah Joe, just based on matchups a lot of times. So let's see who starts. I think a lot of people think it's gonna be Isaiah Joe, so very well could be. If it's not, then Casey Wallace will start and play 23 minutes, and then Wiggins will still, if he starts, he'll still play in a blowout. He'll play in the cleanup crew somewhat, so he'll play about 30 minutes, 29, 30 minutes. From 30 here. Yeah, I don't want to take any unders and bank on a blowout because SGA just looks so good right now, and it looks like he's gonna go back to his normal playing ways of dominating usage here. And Jalen Williams' usage is skyrocketed with Chet out, and also like his fantasy production because he's almost playing at the 5 a lot of times at center, and so his like rebounding rate has gone up, stocks have gone up. So I mean, maybe consider first half here. It's a good matchup if you want to do like first half fantasy for SGA or Jalen. But yeah, stocks are up, and the rebounding. See, when he starts playing at the 5 now, it's like he's gonna have massive amount of rebound opportunities here. And it's a good matchup inside the paint versus the rookie Yevez. So I would say first half to be safe. And that's about it, because I mean this game could easily blow out for sure, as the spread suggests. But the lines are pretty high, man. Jalen Williams is usually at 17.5, 18.5 fantasy for the first half, so definitely paying attacks for his new role with Chet out and the matchup. So yep. That's about it, man. I would do on that, and I'm probably not gonna mess with any of the Pelicans at all. But if you guys like anything Pelicans or want to look at anything, let me know. I don't mess with against OKC. Maybe you can consider unders here, but the thing is, like, the Pelicans are so thin that even in a blowout, these guys are probably still going to have to play normal minutes, maybe besides BI. But like, yeah, all these guys are gonna have to play still have the amount of minutes, so it makes me a little bit nervous, because then you have these guys playing against the scrub bench unit of the Thunder, and they could just rack up stuff in garbage time. So maybe consider first half unders then. Let's look at Boston real quick for that idea. He's at 12.5 PRA. Let's see how he's been doing in the first half. how many minutes he's been playing, his shot volume since starting. I think, is this the first game Jose's been out, or the second game? He scored 0 points against Brooklyn in 15 minutes. Took 4 shots. So yeah, shot volume's kind of all over the place, right? I mean, it took 8, 3, 8, 5. It looks like it's gonna hover around 5 to 8 field goal attempts here. Yeah, he's kind of all over the place, man. He was looking. It looks like he was just looking to pass against Brooklyn. So maybe the points under, but he shows that he can get it done when he is shooting. So I don't know, man. What's it at? 8 points. If you want to risk it for the biscuit here, I think the lines are pretty low, but it could work. It could work. And then Brandon, and then Ingram, 18. For guys like Ingram, I'm maybe just, if you want the under, consider the full game, because I feel like he would go to the bench first of anybody. So yeah. I'm just writing down to go back and check, and then Boston first half unders potentially, but his lines are pretty low. Okay. Yeah, massive pace down spot for the Thunder too, though, because the Pelicans are bottom 3 in pace. Just keep that in mind. For first half overs for the Thunder, we're gonna have a little bit less possessions today. This game should also be pretty slow. Rockets are bottom 8 in pace. Clippers bottom 5. Yeah, so look at the total. It's at 213 total. Some of that is a direct reflection of the total pace in this game. Rockets 3.5 point favorites. You got Harden returning back to Houston. Let's just look at how he's done and when he goes back to Houston. And then, other than that, I think both teams are full go, except Van Vliet is questionable still. He missed last game. We'll see if he misses his second game. If he does, then it's straightforward, right? We get Amen Thompson starting. He got into foul trouble, which he can do, just like his brother. He got in foul trouble when he started last game. Lost out on some minutes in the first half. Checked out early in the second quarter, from what I saw. So he only played 29 minutes. So, if he doesn't get in that foul trouble, he probably plays about 3 to 4 more minutes. So put him at like 32, 33 minutes. But he does play aggressive on defense, and he can pick up early fouls. So it's always a risk with him. Yes, he fouled and he immediately checked out. I think that was his third foul with 7 minutes. So yeah, I think and I mean, and Shepherd, the rookie, he had a stint where he was playing well, and maybe went to him a little bit more. I don't know, but I would still put him at 30 minutes. It's not the best matchup, and this is a terrible matchup for Sengun too. Not like Zubac's a great defender, but just like the body size of Zubac. I mean, Sengun's had some pretty cake matchups as well lately. So let's look at his history, and then we'll look into Harden. They haven't played this season, right? Oh, yeah. Whitmore's out. Okay. PRA wise, how do you do? Well, he had a monster game this game. Did Zubac play in this game? 42 minutes. It must have went to overtime. Yeah, his lines are still pretty low at 18.5. I think, with how many minutes Zubac plays, I think Sengun's going to have to play his usual, or like what his max ceiling minutes are, which are usually like 33, 34 minutes. Because sometimes, when other teams go small, he loses out on minutes in the second half. But I don't see the case here with Zubac, how many minutes he plays. Unless they want to, give Steven Adams a shot at him some minutes against match Zubac. But yeah, probably just leave Sengun alone. It's still not the best environment for him. Yeah. And I just don't trust him right now. It's been very inconsistent, although he's on a good stretch right now. of games, scoring wise, right? Yeah, this matchup here, yeah, he went on this tear, 21, or look at last season. Here we go, 27 points, back-to-back games. But look at the matchups, right? Detroit and the Wizards. So a little different today, man. And it's a very slow-paced game. Maybe his. Do we want to consider his PRA under 34? I wish it was a little bit higher because he used to be up. He got up all the way to like 37.5. So 34.5. I don't know, man. It also depends on Van Vliet being out as well. Okay. How's Jalen Green in this matchup last year? But the Clippers are a different team, so it's kind of hard to say on that. Let's look at Harden. How did he do? Because the Rockets are pretty much the same as last year. So at Houston, he dropped 21 points, 1 of 5 from 3, 8 of 8 from the free throw. But Paul George and Kawhi played in that game, so a little bit different here. But got done scoring wise, even with them playing. PRA, what did he have in that game? 33. All right. And what's his lines today? Points are at 22.5. I would consider the PR. I mean, he's been rebounding like crazy. Yeah, against the Raptors, OKC, 12 and 11 rebounds. And if he's motivated being back in Houston, I would say that. I would say the PR. Yeah. Is it at, what's it at? 26.5? 27.5? You're paying a little bit of tax. Or I guess it's a discount, right? Because he's 22.5 points, 5.5 rebound. So, yeah, that'd be like 28. Okay. Usually they will bump it on the other side and make it 28.5. So it's not bad. If you want Harden, it's a Wednesday, right? So he's okay on a Wednesday. It's actually last year that was his best day, Wednesday and then Thursday. He's getting ready, amped for the weekend. And then you got the revenge narrative, KPJ too. Don't forget about that. They gave up on him after all that stuff went down with his charges. So he might come out hungry, man. I mean, the thing with him is just the minutes. Can he get enough minutes to get there? His minutes are very unpredictable, and because just the nature of Ty Lue, he's hard to. He always changes up his rotations and stuff, especially with the bench guys. Maybe he gives him a little bit more run, knowing he's hungry for this matchup. But I would say with him, yeah, you'd want like the PR because he's gonna be a little bit motivated here. It's only 12.5, or you can just go. I can't believe his rebounds are only 2.5. I mean, in this matchup where, yeah, he's gonna be definitely hungry. I would consider that if you can find it. I don't even know if it's in PrizePicks or Underdog. But yeah, I mean, he could easily just play 14 minutes. So, but I mean, Houston does give up rebounds to the backcourt for sure. They're top 5 to the backcourt overall. So, on how many rebounds they give up. I'm just gonna put it on there. Just if you want a little bit of revenge narrative, 2.5 rebounds is pretty low, man. Even there's juice on the under, so it's like plus money too. Or the 12 and a PR, and then Harden. If you want the full revenge narrative slip here, and then yeah, I'm good on the Rockets, man. I mean, Clippers don't really give up that much fantasy goodness to any position, any particular position. So I think Amen Thompson, like if Van Vliet's out, Amen Thompson can easily get in foul trouble versus Harden for sure. And then yeah, Jabari has a pretty tough matchup against Seabach and Derek Jones. So maybe consider some unders for the Rockets, just depending on Van Vliet's status. I might look into Jabari and how he does in this matchup later. I don't want to spend too much time on him because he's not totally worth it. But he had some pretty good games. Sengun was out that game. He had 15 points. So he had like one good game against them last year. But different Clippers team this year. Okay. What's up, Big Two? Yeah, Conley's out, man. That sucks. He was going to be one of my core unders because back-to-back. I had a feeling he was going to be out, though. He didn't even get his PRA playing his normal full 24 minutes yesterday. He's been really bad. They need a new point guard. Pistons at Bucks, another back-to-back here with both teams, right? So this game could be ugly for sure. Both teams tired, worn out. Pistons are resting Ivy. Tim Hardaway Jr. is out. So you're going to have Malik Beasley returning to Milwaukee. A little revenge narrative there as well. And Beasley's going to play huge minutes. He's going to play 35, 36 minutes here. And he's going to chuck threes like crazy in this matchup. Because he was already chucking threes with coming off the bench for THJ. And now with THJ out, he's going to fill that role even more so. Let's just look at his three-point shooting. He's been taking almost 10 threes a game. A lot of these games. Like some games he had 10, 11. Yeah, he's in a chuck. So I would just look out if you want that revenge narrative, anything for him, just look out for 3-point prop. He's filling that Tim Hardaway role now fully. He was already doing that coming off the bench, but now he's going to do it full force. So yeah, 3-point prop. I'm sure. What is it? 2.5, 3.5. Oh my gosh, with juice on the over. So they know. Yeah, I expect him to take 12 threes here. Unless the game just like completely blows out and he plays like 28 minutes or something like that. But yeah, I think he takes 12 easy. But 3.5 on Malik Beasley, man, does not sound fun to cheer for. Cade should have all the usage in the world. He already had it with Ivy playing, and now Ivy out. Yeah, we've seen games where Ivy does nothing and Cade just goes off. So, huge game. So, only concern is that he's coming off a back-to-back, and they went to overtime, right? How many minutes did he play? Okay, he only played 38, so he didn't get in like the 42-minute range. Great spot for him. Bucks, we've attacked with point guards and guards, especially scoring guards. So, his lines they're high, rightfully so with Ivy out. He's normally at 22.5 points. He's up at 24.5 with his PRA. He's been sitting at 39.5. So, he's just been rebounding so much, and yeah, look at his. The rebounds are so steady for him. It's interesting they have juice on the under 6.5. Yeah. For him, PRA or fantasy for sure. Because he does so much already. So, and he's gonna ball handle even more so with Ivy out. Because Beasley's not gonna ball handle. Beasley's just gonna sit in the corner in the wing, waiting to shoot a three. Ron Hollins, if he starts, that's my hunch. He's gonna start at small forward, 3 spot. He's a spot shooter, wing and D. So yeah, Cade's gonna have all the ball usage in the world. So I would just do either RA or PRA. Sometimes his scoring can be a little bit hit or miss because of his 3-point shooting. If he's not hitting his threes, so maybe RA is a little bit safer. But you gotta look at the guys that he's passing to, right? You gotta count on them to make their shots. But hopefully he can feed Duran. Tobias can hit his shots, and then Beasley hit some threes. So maybe RA is the way to go. But then you're losing out on the scoring upside in this matchup against the Bucks. So. Yeah, I'm just gonna put RA or PRA. But just keep in mind, both these teams are coming off of back-to-back, and especially Cade off every time, so might be a letdown game. It is tempting due to the matchup and Ivy being out. Bucks, they had they're getting it even thinner. Well, Dame is ruled out again on concussion protocol. Middleton still remains out, and then Holland's got injured, right? Ryan Rollins got injured. He's questionable. I don't know if there's any new news on that. I mean, if he's out, then Andre Jackson would come back in the starting lineup. And if that's the case, then you're going to get point guard Giannis because Andre Jackson is not a point guard. Yeah. And AJ Green's not. He's a 3-point shooter. And we talked about it on stream, man. He took 14 threes and made 4 of them. Said look out for his 3-point prop. I don't know if it ever dropped. I forgot to go back and look, but I knew he was going to take a ton of threes. Should see a lot of that today as well. But yeah, the Rollins news will be actually pretty important for Giannis's role here because like I said, if he's out, then Giannis is going to play a lot of point and distribute. So, yeah, I don't know how I feel about the Bucks on a back-to-back here though, and I'm sure Giannis's lines are still really high. But if you guys got anything, let me know. Yeah, 32.5. Rollins, he took a lot. He took 12 shots, and then AJ Green took 14 shots, and all of them were threes. Yeah, too high for me in this matchup, and on both teams on a back-to-back. 215 total to consider an over here. Maybe man, Giannis's free throw shooting is so bad. He's still shooting horrible. He's getting to the line. He just can't convert them. So I wouldn't feel good. I mean, this is a great free throw spot for him against the Pistons, or top 3 in fouls. But again, 5 of 9 from the free throw line yesterday. The game before that, he was 6 of 11. So he's still shooting really bad from free throw, if not worse than the last couple of years. So I'm probably, I wouldn't consider it. Just trying to think, anything else from that one? Yeah. How have I haven't been tracking the front court of the Bucks defense. Like, how are they on the glass? Average, okay. Against centers. I mean, Bobby, it's another good spot for Bobby, but I'm sure his lines are going to be up there now. And he's getting up there in age and on a back-to-back too. So I just don't like taking overs on older guys on a back-to-back. It's just, Wizards at Spurs. It's crazy, man. Spurs 9.5 point favorites. The way they've been playing, I don't know, man. But it is the Wizards, so I guess so. 224 total. Massive pace up spot for the Spurs because Wizards been running top 5 pace, and then it's a pace down for the Wizards though. Spurs have been bottom 7 in pace, but the Wizards give up to every position in fantasy points. I mean, top 10 in almost every position on the court. So you can't go wrong, but it's the Spurs, man. Like, who wants to play an old Chris Paul or the rookie Castle or Stephon Castle or Champagne or washed Harrison Barnes on the wing who just stands in the corner? I mean, great matchup for all of them, but I just don't trust any one of them or feel comfortable clicking on them. So, I mean, Wemby is just smash spot for him, and he finally had a good game, right? Finally had a good game this season. Be fun seeing him and Sarr going at it because they're very similar profiles and length, but Sarr's gonna have his hands full versus Wemby. Wemby had 34 points, 54 PRA. So is he back? I don't know. Is he back to normal Wemby mode here? Could be. This would be the matchup for him for sure. At home versus the Wizards, versus a rookie that's gonna be guarding him a lot. And Sarr. Now Sarr is a great shot blocker, but he's a rookie, and he's going against the alien. Like, I don't know, man. Sarr's gonna have a hard time today. He can get in foul trouble. Yeah. Good spot for Wemby for sure. But the one thing with him is that it's like all his shots are coming from the three ball a lot. So I wish I wish he wasn't taking as many threes here. Yeah, still like over half his shots are from three. It'd be nice if he can just like work the post and mid range and more high percentage, high efficient shot volume. So, man, it's tempting, but the spread is kind of scary. But I don't see the Spurs blowing them up. I don't know. They could. I mean, they blew out the Blazers when I didn't think they would. They could easily do it, man. Yeah, I mean, every metric, they're like bottom 5 to 10 in the Wizards that against Wemby's scoring profile. So don't hate it, man. Vassell, is he still good? Is he good to go today? And is he still on a minutes limit? It's something we'll have to look into. Good scoring spot for him coming off the bench against the Wizards' second unit. I'm curious to see when they put Vassell in the starting lineup. Like, it's got to be coming soon, or are they going to slowly ramp him up? We'll see. But guys like him and Keldon Johnson off the bench against the second unit of the Wizards, really solid matchups here. Yeah, you can see. So, can definitely consider some of their lines, but I don't even see Vassell's lines up yet. So maybe there's pending news that I missed, but I would look out for that. Great scoring spot if he's still around like 13.5 points. Chris Paul, let's look at his playmaking. It's back up again. He's around 20 to 18 potentials, so it's a good assist spot for him in this matchup. But his line's high at 8.5, man. I would have considered it at 7.5. Maybe it's 7.5 in other books, and FanDuel just has it. But yeah, it's a great playmaking spot. If I can ever get Action Network to work. Okay. Oh, he's 8.5 everywhere, so that's a pass. I mean, it does add up because it's like his potentials. It's half of his potentials to get like 9 to 10, but yeah. And that's it, man. I'm gonna say look out for Vassell. Props. Wemby could obviously consider here. I would say let's look at his lines on PrizePicks. Is his fantasy mid 50s or what are we working with here? Or we don't even have his fantasy. That would be a PrizePicks thing to do, right? Yeah, we don't have it. And his points. Wait, his points just changed. 24, 23.5. Okay. Yeah, his rebounding has been really all over the place this season and actually a lot lower. So I guess you just got to go with the points, man. If you want access to him in this matchup, you just go with the points. It's a good matchup. But he's been killing the stocks. Even though his like offensive game has been down to start the season, like stocks are still solid, man. So okay. How many blocks are they allowing the Wizards? Average against centers. What about the power forward 4 spot? Average. So it's an average matchup for stocks for him. It looks like it's just the scoring, man. Maybe even just cut it down to the first half, whatever it's at. It's probably at 12 flat. Okay. If you're worried about blowout. Wizards side, they're fully healthy now, right? Kuzin's back, second game back. He played limited minutes. 21 minutes. Probably ramps up. I have him like around 25 minutes. Points are pretty high though, man. 17.5. Like, is he gonna play 24 minutes? Okay, so if he plays even like 28 minutes, he scored 18 against the Rockets in 24 minutes, but 3 of 8 from 3. Shot volume was still pretty high for that limited amount of time. Really high. It's an average matchup. I'm gonna look at his playmaking. He didn't 2 potentials. His assists are all the way down to 2.5. He's usually at like 3.5, 4.5. When the like a point guard's out, and yeah, I guess it's because Carrington's been dominating the playmaking. Can we consider Ari under here? I mean, what do we think? 8.5? Or is Kuzma? Kuzma is notorious for having fake rebounding games, though, man. That's the only thing. Like, yeah, look at here these games against the Cavs and Hawks. You could easily have one here. Like, because last game Poole had a fake rebound game, right? 5 rebounds, season high. That's so many for Poole. Dude, average is like 2. So a lot of that probably cut into Kuzma's rebounding. I don't know. I would say I would consider it, man. Maybe just like the PRA. Is it too low for us? We don't know how many minutes he's actually gonna play. Is that 26.5? I might consider it. I'll put it as a maybe. If we can just get any kind of report that he's on a minutes limit, I feel better about it. But maybe they adjust his lines after that report. But I think it's already baked in, right? Maybe. But Carrington eats up so much RA, so I don't know. I would say either under his PRA or under Poole's RA. I know Poole got his RA last game, but that, like I said, that 5 rebounds is super fake. He had a spike assist game, but I think that's just because Carrington was playing a little bit injured. I think he's good to go now. Carrington still had 6 assists. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, oh, it's down to 7.5 on Poole's RA, at least on FanDuel. If you could find an 8.5 somewhere, I'd maybe consider it. Like, that was a really fake rebounding game. That's 7.5. Looks like there and probably elsewhere. So never mind on Poole's RA. I only consider it when it's like at 8.5, like it tends to be. But then maybe Kuzma's PRA. Okay.
You have a free throw question.
Yeah.
You know you love those. Hattori Hamzo 13 says, do you like Cade Cunningham and or Miles Turner free throw props?
Yeah, Cade's interesting, man. Like, I've been tracking his free throws, and he's just not been getting to the free throw line. But maybe he does more so with Ivy out. Yeah, it's only about 13% of his points are from the free throw line. But he could be more aggressive here. Looks like the matchup's average against the Bucks, 17. In terms of like free throws allowed to his position. And then who was the other one?
Miles Turner.
Good old Miles. Where's he at? There he is. He's about average matchup here. It could work. I don't know what is it, 1.5, I assume. It's at 3. Wow. He had 4 against them recently. I will say, I mean, he does get offensive rebounds, which can result in getting fouled. Free throw props or potential. And then another question: do you like Cade or Jared McCain's points? Let's see. What is it at? The books might be waiting. Oh, they actually gave him. Okay. I mean, yeah, he's gonna have to score here for sure. And scoring guards have been putting up points on the Cavs for sure. I think they've been like top 3 all season for points allowed to scoring guards like him, because he's just looking to get score, right? I mean, he's in a chuck. You should take 20 plus shots here today. So yeah, the line. Because he's not looking to pass at all, man. When he's out there, he's just shooting. He's just like 2 assist potentials per game. His rebounding, he's not even rebounding. He's just out there to score, man. So if you want him, it'll be the points. He should play big minutes today, for sure. Does PrizePicks have him? If you want him, PrizePicks has him juiced to 18.5. Wow. So maybe the first half? Is it a discount? Nope. All right, there it is. Yeah, a lot of volume for him. Grizz at Lakers. We got Scottie Pippen returning to LA and starting. So this will be his first time actually like starting and playing the Lakers, former team that drafted him. He wrote it and said that he wrote this in his calendar and marked it down this game. So he's highly motivated, and he's coming off a triple double. Played great. We loved him in that matchup against the Wizards. So like him here again today. Lakers have been really struggling still in their transition defense, and Memphis, that's their bread and butter. They're getting all their points in transition. So yeah, good spot for him here. Definitely in the assist department. Even if Marcus Smart plays, like, because he's now upgraded questionable, I don't think he plays that many minutes. He might even come off the bench because how well this starting unit has played for Memphis now. Because Wells has been playing really well. He's been playing really solid defense. Santi has been making his 3-pointers and helping out with the playmaking too. Like, yeah, they could easily just have Smart come off the bench here, since he's been out for extended time too and play limited minutes. We'll just wait and see on the starting lineup, but yeah, I don't think he's going to affect Pippen's assists here. But yeah, they blew out the Blazers last game, so all the starters had limited minutes. So take that in consideration when looking at the box scores for last game. But yeah, I forgot. Yeah, they played the Blazers after the Wizards, so he had the triple double against the Wizards, and then he actually got the scoring done against the Blazers more so than the passing. But 21 minutes, only 4 potentials here. Who it was it Santi that was picking up all the playmaking? Yeah, Santi had 12 potentials, 6 assists, which he can do. He has in the past, and this season at times he'll bring the ball up and set the offense. So. I think with Scotty probably just captured it all in a motivated game because he wanted his rebounding, right? In a matchup that he's going to come out hungry and motivated. So I would just take it all with the PRA or fantasy. PRA, if you're in the books, don't have fantasy, and then did they finally give us his fantasy on PrizePicks? They did not for the last 2 games give us his fantasy because he gets steals as well. So. And then those assists rack up fantasy because it's 1.5 points per assist. So 29 fantasy. All right, I'm in. Let me see what I have him projected for. 35 minutes. Let's see. In a competitive, he hasn't played in a competitive game, right? Because they blew out the Wizards. They blew out the Wizards. He's played 28 minutes. He only played 26 minutes against the Lakers because they won by 17. Yeah, because I was with LeBron and no AD, and LeBron was him and AR-15 were trying to carry the team. I'm just trying to do a minute projection here. I mean, I would say like if it's somewhat close, I would still put him at 32, and that puts him at 33 fantasy. I don't mind it. Let's see, 29.5. Okay, I will jot that down. If you're on PrizePicks, I don't know what he is at what his fantasy line is on Underdog. Okay, and then Jaren Jackson, obviously, man, he's gonna continue to play a big role with this shot volume and usage. Last game he took a big step down because he only played 24 minutes, so he's only had 12 shot attempts, but his fantasies point per minute has really gone back up to usual ways. His stocks are there, right? He's getting around 3 stocks again, and that's even limited minutes, 24 minutes, 3 stocks, 28 minutes, 2 stocks. So if he plays 32 minutes, I have him at 31. What's him at about 39 fantasy? Let's see, what do they have him at? I bet they have him at what? 37.5, 38.5? Let's see. $36.5, okay. A little bit better. You know how active AD is gonna be, so it's just a matter of like, does he foul AD or get in foul trouble against AD or not? So I don't mind it. I don't mind either one. I would do them in separate slips, him and Jaren. Yeah. How do we feel about that? Versus Lakers. So last game, he played 32 minutes and he had 36.7 in that game. And that was with no AD though. So, and then in the past, he's had some really good games. Last year, especially towards the end of the year. Yeah, the blocks are there. The blocks are there. He should. AR-15 should hand him a couple of free blocks too. Yeah, that's about all I would target out of the Grizzlies. And then the Lakers, AD had that eye injury. Redick said he couldn't see during the game, but I think he's still going to play. He's refusing to wear goggles. They wanted him to wear goggles, I read, but he said, no, I'm good. But yeah, he's going to play. I noticed in that last game, man, with this foot injury he's dealing with, like, he's not rebounding at a high rate anymore. And he's just looking to score. And I think it's got to be the foot, right? Like, because AD is a phenomenal rebounder, but his rebounding, it's just, look at it, it's just going down and down. He's just, I think he's trying to conserve energy and manage the foot pain. So if anything with him lately, it's just been scoring. If you want anything for him, he had a massive. I mean, this game was a blowout. They won by 20, but he had 18 points at halftime, right? So he got it all done in the first half. 18 of his 22 points, and then the game got out of hand, so he didn't play in the fourth. So I think his points are pretty high though. Were they 29.5 in some books? Yeah. Good matchup though. He should have an easy time versus Edie and Jay Huff, and whoever else comes in, Brandon Clark. But I mean, the line, yeah, it's pretty high line. But I don't want to, man, sweating the under on that. I don't know, against Memphis in LA, unless you just think he's really hampered by maybe even the eye injury and the foot. But yeah, and then LeBron, I would take the discount. And then what is his assist at? Because he's back to point LeBron with D'Lo coming off the bench now. What do you have? 16 assists, 23 potentials, 13 assists, 21 potentials. I mean, his last 4 games, he's around 19 to 20 potentials. But his assists back up now to 8.5, so which is appropriate. It's half of his potentials. Yeah, he's been killing that, man. Oh yeah, AD only played 26 minutes because of the eye injury. Yep. Even though it was a blowout. That's right. He checked out, never came back. Yeah, I just gotta hope the game stays close if you want anything LeBron, especially his assist line, or maybe his RA. Since AD's not really getting it done on the glass. Jackson Hayes is out, which is kind of big, right? Because he's been playing solid minutes for them and contributing off the bench. And they don't have Christian Wood anymore, or he's still out. And then, yeah, they're so thin in the front court, man, so thin. So if AD were to go down, they'll have to go to Coloco as emergency, and then he won't have anyone behind him, and LeBron will have to play at the 5 a lot. So Yeah, I mean it's a good RA spot for sure for LeBron here. He didn't get it done recently against Memphis because he had a score with AD out. He had to do all the heavy lifting and scoring. He had 39 points. So, yep. Other than that, I'm good on everyone else, man. I only take AR-15 or D'Lo when either LeBron or AD are out. So, T-Wolves, I got nothing besides I wanted the under on Conley because on back-to-backs he only plays 18 minutes. But he was ruled out, which I kind of had a feeling they would do. So, I mean, how many times have we seen this matchup? I feel like I've seen it like a million times now. This is what, the third time playing in a week or two. Second time in 2 days. So Timberwolves looked awful yesterday. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you want to consider props, it would be NAW because he's going to start now. But I have no idea what his lines are going to be. He'll be the starting point guard and pick up big minutes. He's at 10.5 points. What's his assist stat? It's gonna do some playmaking here. That's about all I would consider. It feels like a low line. No, not Claxton. They don't have his assist prop yet. I would look out for it. He can't play make, so yep. And that's it, man. I don't want anything else. Like Aiden's questionable. Or no, we got news on that now, right? Simons is out, and then is Aiden out?
They're both out. Yep, they're both out.
And Time Lord, what a game, man! He dominated the front court of the T-Wolves. That guy had a game. He's back. Yeah. So he's out too. So what are we? Clinigan, the rookie, UConn kid. He's gonna have to play big minutes. Yeah. I want nothing to do with this, man. And then so we're gonna get Scoot. Sharp. You gotta be careful with him. I mean, he played great, but he played decent sized minutes, highest he's played since coming back from injury. And he had a pretty nasty injury he's recovering from, so a shoulder tear. So he could easily, his minutes could ramp down today. This is his first back-to-back on the season. First back-to-back since that injury too. He played 32 minutes yesterday. So his minutes might ramp down a little bit, even with Simons being out and they need his scoring. Like, they really like the kid and they think he's a big part of their future. So I doubt they're gonna risk it with him. But yeah, this game is gonna be ugly. Not interested. I'm gonna put NAW as point guard. I never trust Ant for overs. The guy is so inconsistent, even though he tends to do well in this matchup. And I get it. He's going to be motivated after that loss. He talked about it after the game with all the turnovers they had and how frustrated he was. So I wouldn't be surprised he comes out, drops 30 plus, but I can't do it, man. Last game, we'll wrap it up here. Suns at Kings. Bradley Beal, I think after the game, he said he said he's fine, he wants to play, but he left the game with injury. Monitor that. I don't know. I could see him sitting, even though he says he's good to go. Like, yeah, I think the issue is that the Suns play 5 games in 7 days. I looked into it, so they get a long stretch of games here, all consecutive, and they need to somehow stagger and spread out and save the minutes. So I think there's a good chance he could sit. And then, yeah, we're going to have guys like Monty Morris and Grayson Allen coming in, picking up big minutes off the bench. But, yeah, this could be a letdown game, man, because the Suns went hard yesterday. And they're really thin, but, I mean, their bench guys could get it done. Nurk's still dealing with that ankle issue. I think he's still questionable. Yeah, if anything in this game, I mean, the Kings are the ones to go with because the fresher legs, and we just saw this matchup, and DeRozan and Fox destroyed them. Fox always destroys the Suns, but They both destroyed them because the Suns, I think, have the worst pick and roll defense. And that's like Fox and DeRozan's bread and butter. So let's just quickly look. Oh, they don't have it for DeRozan. Let's see for Fox. Yeah, okay. They're bottom 2 in pick and roll defense, the Suns. So another great spot for Fox and DeRozan. Only thing I'm worried about is, man, is if Beal's rolled out, then yeah, do we get a full game here? I mean, the Kings can play down the competition. We've seen it. Teams hang with them, but it is in Sacramento. Was 7.5 point spread. Yep. But man, so yeah, great scoring spot for DeRozan and Fox. If you want, I'll probably just split up exposure to them on separate slips, parlays. Yeah, Fox dropped 40 PRA. He had 11 rebounds, 8 assists, and 21 points. Went to overtime though, right? And then DeRozan had 34 points and 40 PRA. So they both had 40 PRA, which I think they probably had 50 plus fantasy then, both of them. But yeah, again, I mean, you went to overtime. Yeah, I think you can't go wrong with either one of them. I mean, Sabonis had a monster first half too in that game that we took. Crushed his first half PRA. So I would just like interleave it, man. But just know that they do eat into each other, like especially Fox and DeRozan. On like in terms of scoring, and you see DeRozan had 34 points. Fox only had 21 in that game, but they still got it done in the RA department too. I might. Oh man, I might have to do first half. I don't know. Well, it depends on Beal's status. If Beal's out, I might have to just take the first half. I don't know if Grayson Allen and Monty Morris can hold the game close for us, but yeah, I'm gonna say first half fantasy or points because DeRozan has been getting stocks. But really, I mean, he's just getting it done with the scoring, and then Fox definitely fantasy because he's getting the RA and he gets steals as well. And then Sabonis, as long as they didn't juice it, if it's still like 20 or 21.5, his first half PRA. Oh, it's 20 now. Okay, it went down. I don't mind it again, but obviously you don't want all these in the same slip. Yeah, he had 12 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, so 23 PRA first half that recent meeting. He's been the first half hero for them. I'll kind of put that as third tier, but if I had to rank it, I mean, it's DeRozan and Fox because the Suns cannot stop the pick and roll. There you go. All right. He's out and D'Lo dealing with an illness. Sean said, yeah. And D'Lo, they like him still coming off the bench. It's definitely helping LeBron's playmaking. Let's see. Did I miss anything? I think we're good. We got a lot of revenge narratives today, right? If you're into that, man, definitely got a couple revenge, big time revenge in the Rockets Clippers. So, I just gotta find the unders here for sure. I mean, I think we could find some in the Pelicans game, and a lot of it's just hard to say because a lot of it we got a lot of pending news too. And I think some teams, there could be guys that are going to be late scratches that are on these back-to-backs as well. So we just got to keep an eye out on that. Especially in the later games, the late games on these teams that are on back-to-backs, there could be some late news. Let's see. Are you playing Wemby today, underrated? Or you just want unders, right?
I mean, mostly. But, I mean, if we find something that's too good to be true, like Clay yesterday, I'm down.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's...
Yeah, few and far between.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to dive into it more, and then share the top plays in the Discord. Because it's hard because it's like first time I'm really diving into the slate, so it just depends on the slate, like how big they are, when we can share plays. But if you actually want the plays, then you can easily just join the Discord and get them there as well. That we come up with as a team. But yeah, tomorrow we have one game. Terrible game too. So tomorrow's gonna be easy. Easy sledding, and then oh my gosh, another 11 game slate on Friday. Fun. So it'll be a quick stream tomorrow. All right. If you guys got anything else, man, head out of here. I mean, I will say top things I'd probably like to consider. I like Sky Pippen's fantasy potential, and if not him, then it would be Jaren Jackson and another slip. Even if Marcus Smart starts, I mean, he's not going to really affect much, I don't think. And then I think that's good value at 29.5. And then anything DeRozan or Fox for sure in this matchup. And Cade, great spot. High usage with Ivy out, but the lines are high, and both teams are on a back-to-back. Just kind of scares me a little bit. And that total, man, 215 makes me a little bit nervous. But he's been crushing the RA, man. He's just been getting it done. What was the line again? It was 14.5. And it's juice on the under, actually, so you might find it cheaper somewhere else. I don't know. I took his under yesterday. Worked out for me, even with overtime, so. Harden. PR. Might consider. Although the Rockets have been pretty decent against pick and roll and ball handlers. They're giving up the free throws, though. That's good. We know Harden lives there, man. Okay, their isolation defense, their bottom three, and it's a pick and roll and transition that they're holding it down. So, but Harden, he's mainly getting his points in pick and roll, isolation, and free throws. Powell's been playing great, man. Shooting phenomenal. He's just crushing it, dude. Look at this, and they won't adjust his lines. But he's just shooting at such a ridiculous clip from three, man. Like, how many? Like 63%, 75%, 56%, 50%, 63%, and then this is taking like 8+ threes, and he's shooting at that clip. Like, can he sustain it? I don't know, man. It's not a good matchup for him. Rockets are number 2 in spot up 3-point defense, 3-point shooting defense. So, but VanVleet, if he's out, maybe it changes up the defense a little bit on the perimeter. But yeah, man, he's just Powell's killing it. That OKC game, I think he had like less than 5 points going in the halftime or something like that, and he scored all his points in like the third and fourth quarter. It's crazy. Yeah, but I hate banking on 3-point shooters like that. But man, yeah, he's been crushing it. Yeah, Harden. Does he get his revenge? Already played him a bunch, though, right? I don't know. I usually like Harden unders, but that's just me.
Unders. If you just forced yourself to never do overs again, you'd be so much richer.
Yeah,
Maybe not you, but in general.
I agree. Yep.
It's so hard though.
What?
Just every day, if you made yourself not take overs, no matter how good they felt, it's just hard to make yourself not do that.
Yep.
I wish I could.
Yeah, it just depends. Like for me, if for overs, like if it's just too good of like someone being out, and we know it's going to increase like some stat category or some usage of a player, and the lines just aren't adjusted enough, that's when I really like overs for sure. But yeah. Well, I'll have to dive in more. I think what's holding it up for me is the injury news and these teams being on back-to-backs. I think that with the teams being on back-to-backs is more in favor for the unders for sure, because minutes could ramp down, production ramps down, all of that. So, especially on the Suns side, guys. I mean, they are, like I said, 5 games in 7 days they have to play. I want Booker's unders, but I need confirmation that Beal's going to play. But I kind of have a feeling Beal's not. I don't know. That's my major holdup. And Beal really Booker struggled in this matchup big time. Kings have been holding it down versus the primary scorers. So I think they're like second to last in like fantasy points allowed to the point guard position. Oh yeah, they're allowing the least amount of fantasy points to the point guard. So. And he only had 46 fantasy playing 43 minutes in overtime. 43 minutes, and he finished with 46. Do they have his fantasy? It would just be scary if Beal was out. His fantasy last night was 49.5. He cleared it. Look at it. Look how much they adjusted it. They put it down to the line he got against the Kings. He was 49.5 yesterday and clears it. And then they drop him down to 46 flat. Yeah. I still might consider it if Beal plays. I might. Just being how many games they're playing and being on the back-to-back in the matchup. And just hope that the Kings get it done with fresher legs and we get a blowout here. But it's gonna be scary. No doubt. If Beal's out. And he was really struggling in the Utah game early on. He didn't start picking it up till the second half, so wait on that news. I won't be till later because that's a late night game. But I'm definitely interested in unders on that. Yep.
Ben Simmons out. DFS out.
Okay. DFS is out. Oh. $14.5 points is pretty high, man. But again, if Beal's out, that's appropriate. But if he's in, it's pretty high. Might look to the, but you don't. Yeah, the first half, he's just been. I don't know. He hasn't been really scoring that much in the first half, more in the second half. But we want access to the blowout potential, and hope the Kings run him off the court. Yep. Let me quickly breeze through the free throws because I know the matchups. Free throws have been money for sure. Start of the season, and because they just haven't fully they don't have like much average data to go off of for the player.
Want to hear the free throw sound?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Franz, he always lives right on that line, man. He would have cleared against the Wizards, but he didn't touch the court in the fourth. I think in this matchup, definitely consider him again. He's at his normal line, but his shot volume and use is so high. And then Brooklyn fouls a ton as well. I think they're still top 3, so if you want to consider one of the Celtics free throw props. Let me check my chart here. Yeah, Brooklyn's number 3. Philly's 4. Forgot about that. Rockets 5. Pacers are 6. Okay. Ooh. Oh, that's the other thing. Look out for Jared Allen news for Mobley props, RA or fantasy for sure. Rockets top 5. That's good for Harden.
Oh snap! Andre Drummond ruled out.
Oh, what? What are they gonna do? Like they're gonna have to start Yabu at the 5.
Yabu
He's not a traditional
for the win. Are they gonna give us his props?
against
He's gonna
the Twin
play.
Towers?
He's gonna play like he did in the Olympics today. We're gonna want his rookie card after this game.
He's 6'8", bro. He's a traditional power forward. he's gonna get destroyed in the paint versus Mobley and Allen.
Look at his mugshot too.
Huh?
You're in the headlights mugshot too. Hey. Fuck
He's
you,
a tank
Gobert.
though, man. He's built like a tank.
He's dope. I like him.
He's like a UFC fighter. Oh my gosh, man. They're gonna get killed on the glass. Absolutely destroyed. Mobley's gonna have. Do they have an offensive rebound prop for Mobley? Of course not. Oh, that would have been so money. Oh, that would have been free. Oh my gosh.
Better than a taco. Tacos suck.
Yeah. I mean, they don't have any other bigs because they use KJ Martin and Yabu, unless they called someone up from G League that I just don't know about today. A big,
Right.
well, should get interesting for the Sixers. Let's see who they start. If it wasn't the matchup, the obvious start would be Yabu, but maybe they have someone else on reserve a big to match the size. But yeah, a normal day would be Yabu.
I just want to say, if anyone's here that's not in the Discord, I don't think you've lost yet since NBA started. Every single day has been profit, so y'all should jump in the Discord, check it out if you haven't been there. Just saying.
Yeah. I mean, because that's where we actually share the plays. I know, what's his name? Bennett brought it up earlier. To share the plays early on, but this is kind of more the share game theory, thought process, game flow. Share some ideas on some plays. Help out if you're doing DFS too and props. But yeah, if you want the actual plays, it's definitely get them in the Discord after we get all the news and everything and finalize everything. But we'll try our best to share what we can here on stream too. But I'm with you, man. Yeah,
Profit every day is crazy. For real.
can't hate at that. Man, yeah, Yabu. I'm interested in his props just because how many he's gonna have to play big minutes. It's a terrible. I mean, the thing with him is that he can hit threes, right? So he can stretch out the bigs of the Cavs, and he can still score. But he's not gonna be trying to score in the basket near the basket, so the scoring won't be a problem either.
Just gotta wait for that starting lineup, huh?
Yeah. And then free throws. Yeah, you can definitely consider Jaylen Brown or Tatum's free throws here against Brooklyn. Fouling a lot. Tatum's drawing the fouls, but again, it's a back-to-back. You just have to worry that Tatum's just lazy and just chucking threes and not driving and drawing fouls. But either one of them, Jaylen Brown could get that as well. But his free throw shooting can be sketchy at times, man. I mean, he can miss half of them. But it has high push potential. But Tatum at 5.5 is pretty low, man. I don't know if they're baking in like because he's on a back-to-back, but like it's pretty low for Tatum in this matchup against the top 3 fouling team. And then Philly's fouling a lot too. It makes sense. They got a lot of young guys coming off the bench playing bigger minutes than normal, which results in more fouls. But Donovan with him is like he shoots so many threes. A lot of times he doesn't even get fouled. And then what was the other good matchup? Oh, versus Houston. Harden at 5.5. It's pretty low for Harden. Draws fouls, man. We took him against Toronto, which was number 1 fouling team. Look, he finished with 12. Right? So in the right spots, like look, Philly, we just saw a top 5 fouling team. He got 7. In the right spots, he gets the fouls or draws the fouls in the right map. So this would be another one. Houston, we saw his top 5. 5th. So, and especially if Van Vliet's out and you have Eamon Thompson starting, and we saw he fouls at a very high clip, and is always in foul trouble. So, if you don't want to go with the Harden's like points or PR or fantasy or anything like that, I would say the secondary probably is free throws, and then that's all I got on that. I mean, AD's free throws are always live. But I just don't know who Memphis is going to throw out at him. And then DeRozan in this matchup is very average. And he's not really drawing fouls like he was on the Bulls or the Spurs or anything like that. He used to live at the free throw line, but he's been just a mid-range assassin this year. He's playing so well for the Kings. And offensive rebounds I like to look at. It's the Wizards, the Warriors, the Pacers, the Thunder, and the Jazz. Top 5. Most allowed. So, Goga. He's only down to 3 flat. He just had 4 against them. Can you consider it? He's a really good offensive rebounder. It's just a matter of him playing the minutes. Like, if he just can get up to 28 to 30 minutes here. And we just saw this matchup. He played 30 minutes in it. So, definitely possible. And then the other matchup would be, who was it? It was we don't have Jazz on here. OKC, it's Pelicans, and then the Wizards, which would be San Antonio, which we don't have any props for, offensive rebound props for. So there you go. That's the top. Out of what's available on the board, that's the top matchup in terms of offensive rebounds. Who's allowing the least? Magic are allowing the least. Oh, someone asked. Yeah, okay. But mouse turn on. But those are the free throws, and then Nets, Pistons, Clippers, Milwaukee, and the Sixers. Magic. Okay. Offensive rebounds can be so variable, man. So much variance behind it, but there you go. On those rankings, these tend to be a little bit softer lines because they're not in the standard books. So I kind of look to these first, see if I see anything that's too soft, in my opinion. And in my opinion, I think Tatum and Harden's is a little bit soft on the soft end for the free throw prop. So, and then the offensive rebound, I think Goga. He's usually 3.5. Maybe they bumped him down to 3 flat because he lost out of minutes yesterday, but we kind of foresaw that coming anyway. So I would, I think it has high push potential at least. But yeah, or a good chance of even going over if he can get up to his 30 minutes like he did recently versus them. And then the field goal attempts can be also advantageous on sites like PrizePicks because they're not in the books, and they a lot of it's based on pace, matchup, and then if you can project the minutes right, that's a big thing. So pace down spots you want to consider obviously the unders and then potential blowouts as well. And matchups where the other team fouls a lot, because when they get a shooting foul, they don't count it as a field goal attempt. So if a guy goes to the line 5-6 times, right, like that's 5 or 6 shots off the board, off his stat line as a field goal attempt, which is huge for these lines. So for traditionally, say like SGA's taken 20 shots and he's fouled 6 times shooting, and we got a slow pace, a down pace matchup versus the Pelicans and potential blowout, like something like, that checks all the boxes, right? So yeah, I think we could like, that's one example I would like consider the under on here. I tend to stick with the unders especially on the field goal attempts, because the overs are kind of hard to project, because if another player gets hot on the team and the other one just goes to the wayside and doesn't get the shot volume, that's just random variance, right? But like checking the boxes like we just did for SGA, like that's less variance, and that's more like predictive factors that we can actually predict. So I actually don't mind that. I'm probably gonna add that to the list because I'm just hoping they blow them out. So all right, I think that's it, guys. We'll be back tomorrow. One game. It'll be very simple. Look, I had Conley on here, so
Dang it, Conley.
let's hope for OKC blowout for this SGA under here. And are they? But the thing is, are they fouling a lot too? I mean, they have so many new guys in the lineup. I'm sure they're gonna foul.
You want that, right?
They,
they don't count that as a field goal attempt.
They do not count as a field goal attempt.
Right.
Oh man, on the season, but this is like on the so far in the season, which is when games on Zion and Alvarado are playing. Pelicans are bottom 2 in fouls, so that kind of sucks. And free throw attempts allowed. So yeah, you want all those boxes checked. Fouls a lot, slow pace, and potential blowout. 3 major things. So we only checked 2 of the 3. So it's mid-tier. It's mid-tier. Yep. Okay. All right, guys. You got anything else? The go-go call yesterday was brilliant, sir. Oh, thanks, Jay. Oh, on the less minutes. Did you, hopefully you took the under then, if you took him, or faded him in DFS. Yeah, he got ran off the court, man. When minutes went way down. All right. Good seeing you guys. J. Cole, Errol, Nathan, what up, man? Are you having a meeting? Okay, catch up later. And then, yeah, Boat Jays, man. Good to see you guys. And Hattori, thanks for the questions, man. Yeah, I'm not sure about the Caden turn back to that, but I'm not sure about that. But definitely could work for Cade due to the amount of shot volume he's going to have and usage. So, all right, guys, good luck. Back at it tomorrow, and then we got a big day Friday. Friday's usually fun days for NBA for sure.
And we have Mike Tyson and Jake Paul on Friday too.
Yeah, Mike Tyson. Let's go to Mike Tyson. Let's get it done.
Oh, that'd be so fun.
Everyone wants to see it, man. Oh. Everyone. So
I can't wait to see the numbers, bro.
We'll have our UFC picks. We got a main card on Saturday,
right.
so we'll share those picks on Friday.
Cool. Let's do it.
I've been researching that all week. It's an interesting card. We'll see, but there's so much juice on the play, so we're gonna have to build a big parlay.
That's true.
The juice is crazy on like the guys that we like, so
yeah,
could use them as parlay fillers to add with like NBA on
live
Friday
plays.
and
on the live plays sometimes when they're like minus 200.
Yeah.
That might work.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Speak that we've been crushing live bets too when we can. So yeah, we do that within the Discord as well. we crushed Luca last night, man, and laddered him. Every time they raised him, he got all the way up to 37.5, and I just kept taking the under every time they did it. So
don't teach that. Just do that yourself. Huh? Don't teach that method. You'll end losing 5 times, possibly.
No, I knew it, man. I just felt it. Yeah, it was more of a feel just watching the game that he was just going to burn out towards the end because he's dealing with that groin issue. So got lucky though. Yeah. All right, guys. Baiting the DFS. Nice, Jay. Nice. Glad you did. That was smart. I'm sure he was decently owned. All right, Underrated, kitchen and Discord.
Sounds good, man. I will hopefully be feeling better by Friday so we can go crazy.
All right. Sounds good, bro.
All right, guys.
I'll see you guys later.
Late.